Hey, Dave, it's Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, I thought I'd plug in on this. I've been using this customer acquisition program that this guy started, and we started using it. It's a pretty good program.
This guy, just someone named Guy, right? Okay.
You know what? We started using that, and we sent out 21 packages, and we ended up picking up 4 new clients from it. One of them, it's a $60,000 brochure order.
Wow.
I mean, the people are completely blown away. It's kind of an interesting thing. I sent a flashlight to a large, major corporation here in California. I sent the marketing director and the HR manager, both the same exact gift, same exact letter, everything. I use the 3x3 program to a T. It's exact. I do it at 8, I do it at noon, I do it at 2. I send out on Friday, I do it every Tuesday. From that program, the marketing director says we don't use any of your products. Obviously he does, but he really wasn't willing to talk to me. The HR manager met me and wants to do a $60,000 brochure multimedia piece.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful. And, I mean, just that right there is really inspiring because too often when, if we're targeting just one person in a particular business, they say no, and then at that point, you're out the door. And by simply taking that approach and going after, the multiple contacts within the organization, you get one person to say no and one person who says yes. Obviously, if you're approaching 2 people in an organization in 2 different departments, you've now doubled the likelihood that one of them will say no. And you don't need a 100% conversion ratio in that company to get somebody to buy from you. You just need a 50% conversion ratio. And if you're getting to 3 people in the organization, then you need a 33% conversion ratio. So the numbers are really working in your favor. That's beautiful.
Well, and this guy said to me, he says, what I'd like to do is get the marketing director and the owner. I'd like to get us all together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of humorous. I'm going to end up back in front of the marketing director anyway.
Right.
So that's what I ended up with there. I also, the 3rd Tuesday, I left my 3rd message. I said, hi, this is Patrick Brooks. I sent you a flashlight. I left you a couple of messages. I haven't heard back from you, basically, whatever the script is exactly word for word. I assume you don't want to talk to me. You're not interested. The guy calls me back 10 minutes later. It's the largest HVAC company in Northern California. The guy calls me back and says, I am interested. You have my attention. I want to do something just like this.
Wow.
So, it's a very impressive program. I've probably sold it for you 15 times in the last 2 weeks. Person but I believe in it. And
yeah.
I talked to a gentleman the other day. He said, I tried that program, but I changed it a little bit. I tweaked it up front. And I said, David says tweak and repeat. Well, I can't tweak something unless I know whether it works.
Right.
And literally, David, that is the best. I've been in this 8 years, and this is by far the best ever of anything I've ever used.
Wow, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I get a soft no. And I tell people, I was talking to a guy yesterday, I said, you know what, a hard no sucks. Get out of my office, I hate you, I don't want your business. It takes about 2 of those, and I feel like a flat inner tube. But these people, they say, you know what, thank you so much for the gift. It was like Christmas time. They're all excited because I actually send the gift in a blue Uline envelope. I don't put any business information in there. I just it's a flashlight with a letter, and I use a silver Sharpie marker on the outside of a blue envelope. There is no way in the world you couldn't open it. And out of 21 I sent out, I got 21 people opened it. Every one of them opened it. So I got my result that I was looking for. Next time I'm going to try sending it with a collateral piece. I just sent some out Friday, so I'm back on track again. I plan on doing this once a month, 25 items a month.
Well, that's beautiful. And because basically at this point you said you sent out 21, you got 4 new clients from it. So you're close to a 20% conversion ratio on total strangers, businesses that you've targeted that are decent size, that have the ability to spend a bunch of money with you in the midst of what a lot of people are considering the worst economy. So that's beautiful. The fact that you're doing that and the fact that they're responding to it. And once again, getting back to what we were talking about earlier, the fact that so many other people are pulling back right now just gives you a tremendous advantage, because when you get in front of somebody with a campaign like this that they look at and they go, wow, this is impressive, it got my attention, that's the kind of thing that's going to get you to win. So that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. The other thing that's great about it is that of the other 17 people that haven't converted yet, the likelihood is there that a couple more of them could still convert. So out of those 21, if you've already gotten 4 and it hasn't really been all that long, how long have you been working this, a couple of months?
Well, this one was last month. I actually have 9 interesteds, but
okay.
It's because someone's interested, and that doesn't mean that we're putting together anything. So
right.
those 9, I got 9 interesteds out of 21. I got like 4 people that I couldn't get a hold of. Just wouldn't talk to me. I assume that by the 3rd call, if I've left them all the messages, forget them. I don't even. Why would I chase? I don't want to push a rope.
Right.
And so I basically just put those out of my mind. I don't need them. And one thing you've taught me, and your program is by far the best thing that we've ever done, because we have systems in our office today, which was our main concern. We had no systems when we started talking to you. The other thing is, by doing this, the response is incredible. Everything that we do is duplicatable. And that's what, you talk about a lot. And everything you do with us, you do for your own business. I mean...
Well, yeah, and also in an environment like this where people are generally looking to consolidate vendors, the big question for most of us is, am I going to be the one who's consolidated to, or am I going to be the one who's consolidated away from? So obviously the more solutions you're able to provide for people, the better likelihood that you're going to be consolidated to rather than consolidated from. So I just, for the benefit of everybody on the call, I just want to point out a couple of key things that Patrick was just talking about here. The first one being the fact that one of the most important things that he's done is he's put a customer acquisition program into place. And the purpose of that program is to go out into the wide world among people who have absolutely no idea who he is and create interest, desire, create a dialogue, get them engaged in conversation, and get that first order. Qualify the ones who are likely to be good clients and get them into your web and into your communication matrix and interacting with them, and disqualifying and eliminating those who are not interested, not responsive, that sort of thing. So having that customer acquisition system in place obviously is key. Having the systems in place so that, as Patrick indicated, that it's repeatable and it's duplicatable, and he can then teach other people in his organization how to do it so that they can then do it as well. That is also key if you want to be able to grow your business. And the most important aspect of what Patrick is talking about here is the fact that he's actually doing this stuff, and he's doing it on a consistent basis. And one of the things he had mentioned in his follow-up is that he's saying right now he's doing it, pretty much exactly the way that it's been outlined in the program. Now, that's in and of itself is not the main point. The main point is that he is doing something consistently. He's taking consistent action that's producing a certain result. Once you do that in your business, once you're doing something consistently across a number of different clients, and you're creating some sort of consistent result with that, at that point you've got a benchmark. You've got a baseline that you can work from so that you can start to adapt, tweak, change the system to be able to improve it and make it better and make things continue to happen faster in your business.
Can I make one quick comment just for everybody about your program? I may call a company 5 times to make sure I have the right address, phone number, fax machine, the right contact. At the very end, the day before I went to mail, I called all my companies to ask who the marketing director was. I already had it. But I said, I was wondering if I can confirm that your marketing director is John Smith. I had 3 of them wrong, even after I did all my back-end work. And these companies, about 10 of them were agriculture, and they all suck. Seriously, they weren't clients I would really want to work with. I didn't do my homework well enough up front. But the new ones I just sent out are all qualified, and it's been successful. So if it works for me, it can work for anyone, I guess.
No, that's great. And, actually by being able to isolate a market that is not responsive and not receptive, as part of the whole idea of tweaking and repeating, the next time you go back, obviously you don't pursue that market. You pursue other markets that are likely to be more receptive. And, that's the big takeaway there. And also the point that you had just mentioned in the hunting and gathering stage, making sure that all the contact information you have for those people is really strong and solid, so that when you decide to launch your marketing offensive, you've got all the tools at your disposal and you're not having to scramble around for stuff at the last minute. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate it.
Thanks, David.